All right. Can anyone hear me? This is mildly uncomfortable. Says I'm live. All right. There we go. Now I'm live. All right. Just checking the audio. Let me know if the audio is good. Switch to the old camera. Yeah, I got to figure out a way to mask this behind. I'll probably get StreamYard going on the next go of this. But yeah, let's jump into some things. I do have a couple of late tidbits, so there we go. Hey, John. Hey, CJ. So first and foremost, we may have seen Keith. I damn near wore a Rangers jersey, but I remembered that I can't bring myself to do it, and yeah, but I need to jinx them somehow. Cool. Glad to see you guys can hear me. Awesome. Dalton, how's it going? Tried to do this before and was just like wildly embarrassed of the background. So yeah, I got to fix that. Anyway, Mr. Lonnie, how are you? Dalton, I live a life of sports pain, and I am an Islanders and Mets fan. Throw in that at one time when I followed the NFL, I was a Jets fan, and when I paid attention to basketball, I was a Nets fan. So yeah, no, my sports life is pain. Keith S. Anthony Venture ruined another card issuer. Yes, he sure did. If you're not aware, there are more negative changes to the Yada card. So there we go. Thank you, John, for the $2 with the message. My first Matt live. Yeah, I kind of sprung the other one out of the blue earlier this week. So there we go. Quadfective sports pain. Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much. Anyway, yeah, let's jump into some things. Did have one quick thing. Bilt is now off doing rent payment like points for co-ops and condo fees. So they have entered an agreement with a management company for that, and just another way to continue to expand their product. So they said mortgages were on the way. I know Komilani had an interview with their VP of travel, and he mentioned that they're working on mortgages. This is just one way to continue doing that. So there you go. CJ, the Yada card, the interest-bearing portion of it is gone. So they're not going to do that any further. And also, when you deposit, you would get like boxes. The lottery boxes are gone. So, yeah. Keith S. Tell Anthony to stay away from Bilt. Keith, Anthony has the Bilt card. He's just not using it right now because he's on the ink train. So, yeah. Anyway, Bilt now doing co-ops and condos, so that's cool. We've got the American Advantage Executive World Elite MasterCard. So their top end card, the 595 one, the 100,000 mile welcome offer is back on that card. I believe it's 100,000 miles on $6,000 in spend in 3 months. But we'll see that is back. So that card is $595. You get 3 additional authorized users for $175, like the Platinum used to have. You get $120 rental car credit, $120 Lyft credit, where each month you get $10 after your third ride of the month. You get $120, I think, Grubhub credit. But the main feature of that is access to American Airlines lounges. So that works out pretty well for you. I do like that card. I wouldn't mind getting that card at some point, but I would have to go all in with American Airlines. So we'll see. And then the other thing, there was the Yada card. There's Bilt. There was one more thing I saw right before coming on live about an hour ago, but I am blanking on it. Oh, there are your mileage may vary on these, but you may get targeted offers from Chase to use the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Some folks are getting back like spend what $1,000 a month, get $50 back, something like that. So there's a couple very targeted offers there. Tampa travel, no basement this evening. No, this is the bunker. Bunker's in the basement. So yeah, I gotta fix the bunker. Anthony Fantino, Rangers in 4. They are very quickly dispensing of Carolina. So yeah, could be Rangers in 4. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Keith S., do you think Anthony can ruin Chase, the largest bank in America, or will he just break the ink cards? Keith, why not both? Because he's more than capable of doing both. He broke Yada. He and Calby broke Curve. He and Calby were probably part of the reason why Bilt stopped doing the ability to do the curve back to Bilt on rent day. So, yeah. Dalton, what do you think of the NHL lottery results? Honestly, after the Sharks won the first pick, I didn't really pay attention to the rest of it. Good for the Sharks. I need my team to do some retooling and gain some speed, and we'll see what happens after that first pick. I don't even remember if there's a consensus number 1 pick this year. Like, there's no like Matthews or McKinnon level guy. So I know that there is a consensus number 1 pick this year. I just don't know that he's on that level. Komilani 1,000 is a lot in a month for $50. Yeah, it wasn't quite that level, and I think it was up to like 5 months of spend. I don't have the exact page up. So sometimes when you get tidbits, I look like a fool because I can't pull them up exactly. Hold on. Actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to lower this, and I'm going to lower this, and I'm going to pull up this. So from the churning subreddit, real quick, what offers were they getting? One second. So they were getting, you'll earn $50 back when you make 20 purchases each month from May through July with your Freedom Unlimited card. Each purchase must be at least $2 to qualify. Somebody else mentioned spending $5,000 on the Freedom card from May 1st to that's October 31st. You'll earn $100 cash back. Activate the special offer by June 15th. So they're just trying to get you to spend on the Freedom Unlimited and giving you some, but not very good rewards to do it. Other ways you could do that is by making the Freedom Unlimited a better card. And if you saw Spencer Johnson's live last night, he went in depth talking about the Freedom cards, the Sapphire cards, a whole bunch of other Chase cards. He did reference me a good chunk, but he went through his whole community post. So that was pretty in depth. I think the consensus was Freedom Unlimited should just be a flat 2% earning card, which I would like very much. I do, Graz. Hi, I agree. He is live. Yep. I can't hide from taking multiple takes to fix something if I wanted to. So there we go. Yeah, so we had the Bilt card with co-ops. We have interesting offers on the Freedom Unlimited floating around. Use the card 20 times in a month, get $50 back, or $100 back on $5,000 in spend over 5 months. Not great offers, but they want you to use the card, and this is a way to do it. So there we go. But yeah, I just wanted to cover those real quick. And so, yeah, we'll move on to a couple other things. I did have a story of me making a major mistake, or what could be conceived of as a major mistake. And that is, my partner was looking to do a trip out to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Fort Wayne is not a particularly well traveled airport. And when I looked it up, they don't even have connecting flights to Detroit yet. You can connect to Fort Wayne from Minneapolis, you can connect to Fort Wayne from Atlanta, but the other big Delta hub you can't do. So she's looking to fly from a local airport to me out to Fort Wayne. And of course, it's small airport to small airport. There's no immediate direct flight. So I had to use uh, a hub. So she's going to be flying from the small airport to Atlanta, from Atlanta up to Fort Wayne. Now, did I use points for this? No. Did I look for points for this? Yes. Did I try breaking things up so that I could do multi steps where it was like, oh, hey, let me do points to here and then like cash the rest of the way? No. No, I did not. And that could have been helpful. Tampa Travel, Allegiant, I've flown there, bunch of cornfields. Yep, Allegiant flies there, but we'll see. Fort Wayne, I think the Pistons used to play there 10,000 years ago in the early NBA. That sounds about right, but I don't remember the exact history of the NBA. I mean, Rochester, New York had an NBA team at one time. Anthony Venture here. Thanks for joining, Anthony. Keith, one by one, every bank will meet my wrath. You leave Wells Fargo alone, sir. Yada was first. Yeah, but Yada was unsustainable. Sounds like a Joy of 1.5x situation. Yep. So yeah, did I also think to do another travel portal? Well, I looked in the Chase travel portal. The Chase travel portal wasn't really helpful. Did I try looking through the Bilt portal to at least get some Bilt points out of this? I realized after the fact, no. And I probably should have, because it was going to pick up another like 900 points total, because Bilt will give you 1 point per dollar spent in the portal outside of whatever other cash rewards you'll get for spending in their portal. Now, everything would be third party, but with airlines, you can always attach your frequent flyer number to the booking and get credits that way. It's usually hotel bookings that are a pain in the butt. So, yeah, I did a dumb thing and paid full price for a ticket for my partner for her to travel to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, luckily, she doesn't have to worry about hotel accommodation, so that's cool. She doesn't have to worry about a rental car, so that's cool. And I'm getting her to sign up for a Delta frequent flyer number as soon as possible, because I need her getting miles. If I'm going to get miles for the flight, she may as well get miles for the flight, and we may as well put them together. And I don't know what I'd do with the Delta points afterwards, but I may as well have them and use them later. So there we go. But yeah, I did a dumb thing. I felt dumb after the fact, because I could have done things like, oh, I could have booked points to Atlanta and then paid cash up to Fort Wayne. That would have made some sense. And I'm sure I could have found award availability using Air France, even though I wasn't starting at LaGuardia or JFK. So there's that. But we'll see. I'll go back to chat. Better cash out all my points before Anthony does his damage. Well, Anthony should leave some banks alone. Fort Wayne has the Comets. Fort Wayne Comets, that is AHL? ECHL? ECHL. Better picture and lighting. Thank you, Long Way Travels. Check out his channel if you haven't before. We've got a question from Anthony Fantino. What benefits would you like to see on the Strata Elite card? Well, it's aiming to be a premier travel credit card. So if it's a premier card, let's go with the obvious right off the bat. We'll go with it will have global entry and TSA pre-check. There isn't a Citi card that offers that. We'll go with a relatively healthy credit of some kind. I wouldn't mind Citi taking on a travel credit inside of their travel portal, or a general travel credit, or a credit that isn't monthly and broken down by $10 increments. The floor there isn't necessarily high, so they should be able to reach and eclipse that pretty easily. But let's see. I don't know about multipliers. I'm not really worried about multipliers on the card. It's going to be a premium travel credit card, so the multipliers on that card usually aren't the best if you look at the Sapphire Reserve, although I think the Sapphire Reserve is the best earning multipliers for like travel and dining, which is what you do when you're traveling. The Venture X is flat 2x. That could work. You've got the American Express Platinum, which is 5 times points on flights and prepaid hotels in their portal, and then 1 times points everywhere else. So you gotta figure it's going to be something, not necessarily the strongest earner, but the earnings won't be terrible. It'll have some credits of some sort. Hopefully, I don't think they're going to bring back the Citi Prestige level credit of like 4th night free on hotels. That's just wishful thinking for anyone who loves the Prestige and is holding on to it for dear life. But you could see some interesting benefits come along if they reestablish their relationship on like a transfer partner basis with American Airlines. Maybe you could get into the American Airlines Admirals Club, but I doubt that. But it would be a nice way to get down, get more travel value out of things, because they don't have a lounge network. They don't have an established network with any of their partners to handle those things. And they're on they have like one of the rougher hotel collections of partners, even though they do Choice at 1 to 2. So Choice is their strongest hotel partnership. So I think it's going to be interesting when they launch it. I just don't know what we're going to see. QC man, won't this fancy Strata just be a stripped down Prestige? Well, the Strata Premier was just painting a new slab of paint onto the Citi Premier and then giving it EV charging and a higher welcome offer. So it could just be a stripped down version of the Prestige that doesn't do a whole lot of the things that the Prestige did, like 4th night free on hotels. Maybe they'll bring back the golf benefit, but we'll see. John mentioning Staten Island Oprah. Yep. Anthony's not going to be able to live that down until the next time he's on with Joe. Team Citi for the win. Yes, Cesar. Oh, hello, Cesar. I didn't say hi before. Dugraus, what does your player 2 significant other think of both the credit card game in general and your YouTube activity? YouTube activity, she is kind of interested to watch how things have grown. She jokingly became subscriber number 100 for me, and that was right at the end of October. And since then, I've grown eight times over. So she's kind of impressed by that. Credit card game in general, she likes the idea of having to pay less to make a trip happen. So she likes, she'll ask me now, like, do you have points you can use? And I'll put something together. So she's happy about that part. But actually joining as a full player 2 and activating that strategy, I have no idea if she's going to do that. But she likes the benefits of the credit card game so far. We had Chad's Money Minutes. Let's go. Chad, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for watching and pushing me into this game. Kazi, yo. Hey, Kazi. CSR, difficult to make the Premiere better. They added what was lacking. Yeah, exactly. As much as I could like downplay the Strata Premiere was exactly what it needed to be, and they really didn't have to do anything with it, which was great. Sendo, sup? Hey Sendo, how's it going? Nubia Rising, do you think the potential Citi Strata duo will compete with the Cap One duo? Are these ecosystems potential game changers, game enders for Chase? So don't know yet if we are going to have a Citi Strata, one Strata rule, which would be dumb, but it's possible. But you could still do a fair amount of good in the Citi ecosystem where you have like the Rewards Plus card, and you have the Citi Custom Cash, and you have the Double Cash. Like the Double Cash gives them that good floor that's higher than Chase's and equal to the extent of what you get with Capital One. You have them on the same footing with Wells Fargo with that 2% floor. You've got the Citi Custom Cash, which is 5% back on $500 of the category of your choosing, as long as you keep your spend under 500 and you only dedicate it to one category. So that works out. Citi Strata Duo, if you're able to put the two cards together, that could definitely work out, especially because Citi has some interesting airline partners. I'm not the biggest fan of their hotel partners, and I'm definitely not a fan of Capital One having like Wyndham as their best hotel partner, and Wyndham for them is 1-to-1, and Choice for Capital One is 1-to-1. So Citi, if the new Strata Elite can take a nice punch to the face to my lovely Sapphire Reserve, I think they might get Chase to start reassessing some things. But I think the bigger thing that's going to come in is the Wells Fargo Autograph Beyond coming in and really delivering a big punch, especially if Wells Fargo can get some more and more interesting transfer partners than what they've got. If Citi wants to be competitive, they better start with their own airport lounges. Yep, that's going to be another way that they go. QC Man, if Carl Icahn joins the Wells Fargo board, will he be out on them? If Carl Icahn joins the Wells Fargo board, we are in a whole world of mess, because that guy joining the third largest bank by assets under management, that's a terrifying thought. Like we would be approaching some sort of fiscal meltdown. Like that guy needs to be stopped. 34 Skyline, new video is up on Amex Business Checking and Business and Rewards Checking. I'll have to check out that video. Is that your video, 34 Skyline? I know that you can now do business and personal checking with American Express. So, and I think I mentioned that on a tidbit last week or at the beginning of this week, although I did like 4 tidbits this week. Vincent Pascal, if Citi wants to be competitive. Oh, no, I already answered that. Dugras, Citi better than Capital One, IMO. Yeah, I'm there with you. It's a better earning ecosystem. It's got better redemptions with Choice, and they've got some interesting airline partners. I know Eva Air is an interesting product. I know they've got Royal Thai Orchid Airlines. They've got a lot of Asia-specific airlines. So they definitely have more interesting ways to redeem. Although Citi is the one that doesn't have Aeroplan, which is odd. Anthony, Matt to 1K very soon. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Robert Gerald, I'm late. Anyone have any idea whether Citi Premier is still available for new applications? Any official confirmation of any of this? So, Robert, right before I came on stream, I noticed that I could go in and attempt to apply for the Citi Premier. Did I do it? No, I'm not willing to tempt the 524 gods on a card that is not going to be publicly available much longer. And if I was going to apply for one of the cards, I would apply for Strata Premier before I apply for the Citi Premier. Travel protections are cooler and welcome bonus is higher. But yeah, I have no idea why the Citi Premier is still available. It must be a caching thing, or somebody forgot to flip the switch. But yeah. Keith S. Citi Premier is a really well-rounded card. Throw in a double cash, and it's a better earner system than Capital One. Plus, you can add additional cards for even more categories. Yeah, and you can supercharge your redemption capabilities with the Citi Rewards Plus. So, yeah, even just a Premier and a double cash gets you pretty far in the game. You would lose out on like streaming, but no big deal. You'd have gas, grocery, and dining covered at 3%. You'd have everything else covered at 2%. You'd have the travel portal redemptions as well. So that works out pretty well. Tampa Travel, maybe they have some Citi Premier blanks they need to use. Just chuck them. CSR Chase card's been outdated for a couple of years and it's getting worse. Banks are taking Chase to the school. Hope they learn something from them. I will continue to beat the Chase needs to make changes drum, and I would love more people joining the drumming circle. Keith S. Dugraus, Keith S. agree. Yep. QC Man, I suspect Chase is doing quite well with non-credit card maximizer types, especially well-off folks who probably use their CSR and use their portal a lot. For us credit card maximizer types, the ink cards are still great. Yeah, the ink cards are definitely great. You can do an ink duo, an ink setup of just the Chase Ink Cash and the Chase Sapphire Reserve and do pretty well for yourself. Like there's other ways to do the Chase trifecta other than, you know, the Freedom Unlimited, the Freedom Flex, and the Sapphire Preferred. Like you can do the Ink Unlimited, which my Ink Unlimited has just gotten supplanted by the Signify Cash. But the Ink Cash plus the Sapphire Reserve can cover a lot of ground for you really easily. So let's see. John to Robert, he's looking at the Citi application page right now. Yep, I saw that. Keith S. Accor has some really nice hotels in Canada. Both Citi and Capital One will partner with Accor. Yeah, but their transfer rate, and I understand like the cent per point comes out pretty easily to like 1.6, but you have to do 5-to-1 transfer rate. So if you're willing to do that, you can do some pretty good savings. And they don't do pure point booking, but your points can be used for a discount. There's merit. There's merit there. I know Accor has really nice properties. Just someone still relatively new to the points and miles side of things is a little averse to going, 5-to-1. But I just got those points. Does the Strata Premier have any of the top-notch travel protections, emergency medical, emergency vac, real travel delay, or just the low-level ones? Duras, I'm not 100% sure. I know they said travel protections, but I haven't gotten a hold of the terms and conditions yet. So I'm going to be following up with that as soon as I can. Keith S. Citi Custom Cash is 5% for streaming. Okay, so you got streaming covered with the custom cash. That's why I'm questioning the validity of any of this. Citi hasn't actually said anything, right? So what I've seen was stuff from like the Citi subreddit that somebody scraped a screenshot of Citi mentioning the Strata Premier. But yeah, we haven't had like official announcements. No, not yet. Says our Joel, the 10% from the redemption from the reward plus applies to every redemption and is great. Yeah, no, that card is what can make the Citi ecosystem even better than some of the others. Like the Sapphire Preferred only has 10% on what it earns in a year, which is weak. Capital One doesn't have anything like that. Wells Fargo doesn't have anything like that, and American Express doesn't have anything like that. Vincent Pascal, Wells Fargo Autograph, and Capital One Saver One cover all the Citi Premier's categories without the annual fee. Of course, they don't have the same high bonuses as the Premier. They don't. They also don't. While they both allow, well, the Saver one doesn't have direct transfer partner access. You have to pair it with a venture card. But the Autograph can do a lot of what the Premier can do. The Autograph also, I believe, has some insurances. The Autograph definitely has secondary CDW with rental cars if you used it to do a rental car. But I'm not aware of the trip delay or trip cancellation. I think it has trip interruption insurance, but it's only like $500 or something like that. I'm not as well versed on the T's and C's because I've just held the card for so long and never thought about what it can do for me. But I'm more aware of the Sapphire Reserve. No official announcement from Citi. Yes, I did a video on holding both. I'm holding both. Okay, perfect. 34 Skyline. I'll definitely have to check that out. Everyone in the chat right now, definitely give that video a look. And 34, I'll have to check your stuff out. My apologies for not to this point. Vincent Pascal, Autograph and Saver One as a duo. Yeah, you'd have to get the cash back for the Saver One. You'd also have to request a physical check from Capital One, which is annoying because I have Capital One checking and savings accounts. I couldn't redeem into my Capital One accounts. I had to request a paper check, which for a company that is so technologically forward as Capital One is weird. So let's see. Keith asks, Capital One should hire Anthony Venture as a consultant for their credit card business. Capital One feels like a paper tiger right now because of the whole Discover merger. I'm worried about what happens after that goes through. Fog Runner, always remember only 2 banks point system points redeem at full value for cash, Chase and Citi, and of course they both transfer well to partners. Fog Runner, Wells Fargo also redeems at full value for cash, and their transfer partner list is lacking. But fun fact, you only need to transfer 1 point with Wells Fargo. So if you have a point ecosystem, and as they grow their transfer partners, if you only need to move 1 point to extend out your points, Wells is going to be a power player there because you only need to move over 1 point. You can move as few as 1 point. Let's see. Anthony Fantino, Citi is dead to me. I transferred all of my 170,000 points to Qatar with a 30% bonus. All right. That's a pretty nifty redemption. Did something happen there? Or you just moved everything out and you're just going to cancel out your cards? Robert, the only reason I still have my Premier is 1 to 2 choice, which has redemptions actually getting better. Yeah, 1 to 2 choice is pretty strong. I was happy to see Wells Fargo take on the same transfer rate, but unless you're moving into the Wells Fargo ecosystem, the Citi redemption there is really, really nice. Keith, Matt, you almost sound impressed enough with Citi to get the Citi Magnificent 5. Why do you hurt me, Keith? Anyway, let's see. Hey, Jacob's Points and Profit. How's it going? If anyone here is not subscribed to Jacob's channel, y'all should. Fog Runner, yes, Saver One and Autograph roll well overseas, and Autograph has primary car insurances overseas. I have to double check that. I didn't realize that, but I also haven't been renting cars overseas in a while. And I'm sure it's still not primary for like Jamaica and Ireland, where you can't get primary anyway. Tampa Travel, do you think Bilt will eventually match Amex's standard redemption of Amex's Hilton standard redemption of 1 to 2? No, I don't think they need to. They're going to roll into their status where if you've got gold status, you're going to get 125% on a rent day transfer, and that will outdo American Express. And if you're platinum, you get that 175. I don't think you're going to see them match it unless they came out with a higher end card. But I could be wrong. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Um, Sledging team salutes. Sledge, salute. Your live was great with Lonnie, and thank you for stopping by. Dugras, let's not forget Business Venture X losing Priority Pass restaurants as well. Not unexpected, but another dent in their armor. Yeah, when they announced that the Business Venture X was going to move payment networks from MasterCard to Visa, my first thought was they were going to lose Priority Pass restaurants, which is crazy. And another, as you said, just dent in their armor. CJ, why are you afraid of the Capital One Discover merger? So you've got both companies really into high liability lendees where they where they have a lot of risk, and like they're two of the better companies at mitigating that risk, absolutely. But once they make the acquisition, it's going to be a question of like, okay, so is it Capital One's customer service departments that are going to get slashed? How much of Discover are they bringing over? How much liability to Discover cardholders do they want to keep themselves with? And then, like, their next big expense, if this goes through, is going to be they're going to spend a lot of money to expand that payment network. And that's going to be like multi-billion dollars to expand their new payment network in Europe and expand it further into Asia. I know Discover has a good foothold in, I believe, Japan and China, so that at least will help. But you know, it's going to take them a while to build out that network, and I could see them just putting a freeze on their cards, like making their cards better, because they're already sort of like artificially keeping the Venture X to me at 395, and like they're doing everything they can not to move that annual fee. And so like I don't know how much they can pour in to keep that annual fee where it is, grow their payment network, maintain the liability, and make everything work together. It just feels like one of those things where it feels too good to be true, and if it feels too good to be true, it probably is. Vincent also chimed in on the Venture X business, losing Priority Pass restaurants. Fog Runner. All right, Wells Fargo also. Yeah, people forgot about Wells Fargo. It's fine. They're coming back. Is there a one autograph rule? If not, and Wells Fargo isn't your main travel card, you should get both autographs and then cancel the journey after 1 year. There is no one autograph rule to my knowledge. I've thought about getting the Journey. I'm very intrigued by Autograph Beyond because Journey came out relatively strong. So I want to see what Autograph Beyond looks like before I jump on one of those two cards. But there isn't currently a one autograph rule. And so I'm still keeping options open. We had Nubia with a super chat. Thank you so much. Sorry for getting to this late. Should there be 30 plus likes, Matt? Oh, yeah. Hey, keep hitting the like button. That'll be awesome. And Nubia Rising, thank you for the super chat. Anthony, I don't use the Premiere anymore and didn't want to pay the annual fee again. I downgraded to a custom cache. Yeah, that makes total sense. There's no rule on the number of custom caches that you can downgrade to, so may as well collect as many as you want. QC Man, interesting Dugras. I think Priority Pass restaurants may just go away from Priority Pass soon if there aren't any big cards with them. So there's still Priority Pass restaurant access with a couple of Bank of America cards. I think the UBS Visa Infinite card for those who want to sign up with the Swiss Bank. There's at least one more that I can't remember. But I'd love to see like Chase and these companies that walked away from Priority Pass for a Priority Pass restaurant to at least like put in some sort of airport restaurant credit with those restaurants, because they're going to lose a lot of business once everything goes through. Uh, Robert Gerald, of course, it's primary overseas because your U.S. insurance doesn't apply. Yep, this applies to everyone, not just Wells Fargo. Yeah, that makes sense. All secondary becomes primary when you don't have another primary. Yep, that definitely makes sense. And then we've got Brian Rich. Do you think there will eventually be a Bilt premium card with an annual fee? I think eventually, yes, but they're going to sort out mortgages first, and they've added condos and co-ops, so mortgages will be on the way. After they get mortgages sort of sorted, or in a coordination with mortgages, you could see them do a new card product. What that would look like, I have no idea, but you could definitely see them looking to arrange Priority Pass. They've got their Blade lounges. I would love to see a card with like a Sapphire Reserve or American Express Platinum level annual fee that gets you Blade Lounge access, that gets you Priority Pass, that gets you um, in with one of their partner airlines. Because a card with that level annual fee, you should be starting off with no less than Bilt Silver. So you should be getting like Bilt Gold at $6.95. You could do a $95 annual fee card that gives you silver, but like a $95 annual fee should give you gold to start, and some help with partners in some way, like reduced reduced entry fare into a lounge or something. But Bilt Platinum, you can status match over to KLM and get KLM Gold, which has access to their lounges. Um, yeah, a premium Bilt card. There are so many places you could take that, and it would just blow up. That card could become like the travel king, especially if they kept rent day on there and like had what 4x flights on that, and then rent day you could do 8 times Bilt points on rent day. Like they'd be devaluing their Bilt points at some point, but no, that card could be super powerful depending on how they did it. Frugal Dad Finance, hey, thank you for jumping in. Like button smashed, appreciate it. Robert Gerald, USBAR still has Priority Pass restaurants. It does. The Altitude Reserve does still have it. It's got the 8 passes per year. So if you don't travel a lot and you want to do a restaurant, that makes sense. Or you do the restaurant in conjunction with a Sapphire Reserve or American Express Platinum. So that can definitely work out. RJ, hey y'all. Hey RJ, thanks for jumping in. And yeah, so we can do more questions. Didn't have a whole lot of tidbits to cover. I did do that. I didn't do enough research and ended up paying $900 for a flight for my partner to go from a small airport in New York to Fort Wayne, Indiana, of all places. YouTube experiment. Hey, all, US Bank has Priority Pass restaurants. They do. They absolutely do. I need US Bank to expand the number of passes that they give you from 4 on the Altitude Connect or 8 on the Altitude Reserve to unlimited on the Altitude Reserve. Just a minor gripe I have with the US Bank Altitude Reserve. Robert beat me to it. Yeah. No, chat's always helpful. So yeah. What else is there? Went on about the Capital One merger, how that concerns me. I think they're taking on a lot of liability, and I don't know how they're going to get through it. I'd love to be wrong. Frogrunner, his Wells Fargo cards. I'm interested to see what cards he runs with. I have the Active Cash, I have the Autograph, and I'm working on the Signify Business Cash at the moment. I'm waiting to see if my Signify Business Cash cashback posts in the next couple of days, and then I'm going to see about moving that over to the Autograph. There's worry that that doesn't work, but part of why I got the Signify Cash was to be the data point I want to see in the world, and not a whole lot of people have really talked about the Signify Cash, and I have, and I like that card. So let's see what happens. YouTube Experiment, Altitude Connect has no annual fee and has 4 passes even. Yep. They can keep the 4 passes. That's awesome. That card is just going to be very weird going forward. I want to see some clarity as to like what the thinking on that is, because the cash out for cash on that card is going to be 0.8 cents per point, which makes no sense to me. But you can cash out to charity at 1 cent per point. You can cash out for travel at 1 cent per point. But 0.8 cents per point is weird. Anthony Fantino, I have 3 custom cash cards, have 4 other cards I can change to custom cash cards. I mean, you can 5x all the things at that point, because there's what, 12 5% categories? So you can get just about all of them. 34 Skyline question. I was in pop-up jail in January 2024 for Platinum card. Since opening the business checking, I got an upgrade offer of 100K MR points. Does this mean I'm out of pop-up jail? So I don't know. Pop-up jail is finicky. I don't understand it. And so if you're getting that on, was the upgrade offer for like a business card, or is it from a gold to a platinum? Not 100% sure. Oh, sorry. Congrats on platinum 100K. So yeah, we'll see what can happen there. I think you'll come out ahead at some point, but you may just want to keep checking and let those accounts mature a little bit. I don't have a good answer, but chat can definitely let you know there. Robert, everyone should apply for the Altitude Connect now. $500 bonus and no annual fee ever now. Yep, well, get it while it lasts. Yeah, the $500 bonus is definitely nice. Just get that $500 bonus, and then you'd have to open up like an Altitude Connect to move your points over, or the Business Connect and move your points to that card to cash out at 1 cent per point. Frogrunner, his Wells Fargo cards with the Autograph, the Bilt, the Choice Privileges select so far. The Autograph is solid. The Active Cash is a nice 2% flat cashback option that you can move your cashback over to points, no problem. Business card wise, I like the Signify Cash. I'm waiting to see what Signify Elite looks like. The Autograph Journey is really nice, is a really nice card. And then we're waiting for Autograph Beyond. So we'll see what happens. Dewgrouse is the super chat. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Great repository of random knowledge in this space. Hey, I try. Thank you so much. John saying hi to RJ. YouTube Experiment. Yes, only 2,000 for 500 back. First $120. Wow, I cannot read. Yes, only $2,000 spend for $500 cash back. First 120 days. No brainer if you have very few inquiries. Yep. I believe US Bank only pulls TransUnion, and I have very few TransUnion pulls. I just keep worrying about my Chase status because I want it in cash, but after the in cash, unless the rumored Hyatt luxury card is crazy good, I don't necessarily see myself getting any more Chase personal cards until I'm ready to jump in with United. If I choose to jump in with United. So we'll see what happens there. Tampa Travel with the super chat. Thank you so much for that. Robert Gerald agreed. Amex Platinum plus USBAR. Yep. You can pair the Altitude Reserve with another premium travel credit card, and it works out pretty well because then you have the option to use the restaurants, but you're always going to be able to get into a Priority Pass lounge. Frugal Out Finance. If one has the Altitude Reserve with 8 passes, just pick up the Connect with its free 4 passes. 12 is greater than 8. Yes, it is. The only problem would be your Altitude Connect points are only going to cash out at 0.8 cents per point, and you can't move your Connect points to the Altitude Reserve. But if you have another card with them that you can move the points from the Connect off of to cash out at 1 cent per point, then you're good. You can also cash out for travel at 1 cent per point or donate to charity for 1 cent per point. So your mileage will definitely vary. But 12 passes definitely better than 8, so it works out. YouTube experiment for no annual fee card, 4 passes is a nice perk. Yeah, it's a great perk. I still am curious why they moved it to a no annual fee card, but I'm glad they're at least carrying the 4 passes over for now. So that works out pretty well. Fort Wayne, Johnny Appleseed, John Chapman is buried there. Did not realize that was his final resting place. Very good knowledge there. Tampa Travel, what is the best no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee card? The only one that springs to mind is the Fidelity card. The Fidelity card gives you 2% cash back. It has no foreign transaction fee now. Frugal Dad also jumped in with the Saver One. So the Saver One is also a really good one. So the Fidelity will get you 2%, but you can use the Saver One for 3% groceries, 3% dining, 3% entertainment, and those will apply everywhere. So you could have a nice little 2-card setup of the Saver One for your dining, entertainment, whatever groceries you might happen to buy outside of the US, and then you use your Fidelity card for everything else while traveling. David William, I have a big tax quarterly, but there's no good elevated offers. Wait or get a card. I don't have a solid opinion one way or the other. If you have a card that makes sense and your quarterly is going to hit that welcome offer quickly, if it's a business card and you're worried about Chase, you can tend to it pretty well. But if you don't need a card, you could always just use a high floor multiplier like a 2% card or a business card or something like that with a like 1.5. But I totally get needing using those to hit a welcome offer. So if there's a card that makes sense, sure, go for a card. I'm not sure how big your quarterly is. You don't have to tell the chat. But good elevated offers. I mean, the Ink Preferred is 100,000 points on 8,000 spend. You've got if you look for business gold options, you could probably find something with a pretty decent return on $10,000 to spend. Personal card wise, the executive card just went to 100,000 points, 100,000 American Airlines miles. Then you'd have to look at like someone else's business. The leverage, the U.S. Bank business leverage card has a $900 welcome offer right now as well. So that could work as well. Chad's Money Minutes, pop-up jail is trash. Yeah, I hear you. I'm more than aware of what's going on there. My apologies. Frugal Out Finance, Saver One has no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee. Yep. Keith, I'd hold out for 150K plus MR offers unless you need the card right now. You'd be leaving points on the table, and don't forget about the family language, lifetime language. Those things can definitely add up. John McKinstry, good evening, Matt and everyone. Oh, hey, John. Thanks for joining. Fog Runner, also some other no foreign transaction fee, no annual fee bests. Autograph, the Autograph has no foreign transaction fee. I just thought of like highest floor multiplier when I first said the Fidelity card. Navy Federal Cash Rewards, those are his best. Yep. 34 Skyline said gold to platinum. Yeah, you may want to hold out for 150K, but that they're offering you an upgrade, you should be able to get out of pop-up jail, but you may have to take the upgrade to do it. I don't know the ins and outs of it. Frugal Dog Finance, U.S. Bank pulled Experian for me. He's in Jersey. Okay. So I'd have to double check things there. Good to know. Keith S., I'm waiting to see if Chase does that double points offer on the Freedom Unlimited like they did last December. I'm absolutely going to jump on that if it comes back. 100%. Bilt has no foreign, no annual fee and foreign transaction fee. That is true. Bilt card would be great for international dining, but I feel like that's about it, unless you happen to be traveling on the first of the month, and then you get that two times floor. YouTube Experiment, Alliant has no foreign transaction fee. No, I believe it's no foreign transaction fee. I don't remember. I don't want to speak too far out of turn. That Alliant 2.5% cash back is sweet. Yep, sure is. Fog Runner, I'm looking for a platinum replacement for direct air and hotel bookings by Jan 2025. Remember, you can always book directly with Chase Sapphire Reserve and get 3x, which can become 4.5x. Fog Runner, can I introduce you to the Wells Fargo autograph journey? Because you're going to get 5 times points on hotels, 4 times points on air. Just a thought. Keith S., David Williams, what about the Biz Platinum? American Express is giving 200K plus subs right now. Yeah, the Business Platinum could definitely work if you have the 20,000 spend. You could definitely hit that 200K. So let's see. Tampa Travel, you and Stan the Credit Frog need to co-produce content. You both have a wide breadth of travel credit card knowledge. I'm not quite at Stan's level, but yeah, we could definitely work on something. Big fan of Stan. I know Stan watches from time to time, so yeah, we'll see what might happen there. Dr. Vinny Boombots, I'm here. I swear I didn't fall asleep. That's fine, Vinny. I'm here for a while. Vincent Pascal, SoFi has no annual fee and no foreign transaction fee. Oh, and I feel like just raised their floor too. Like, I want to say they moved it up to like 2.5. I could be wrong. John McKinstry, I think U.S. Bank also pulled Experian for me in Pennsylvania. Oh, so in the Northeast, it looks like U.S. Bank pulls Experian, which they would auto-deny me because I have at least 8 inquiries in the last 2 years. So, yeah. Keith asks, I would do IHG Biz, but I worry because my business is fake, LOL. Your mileage will vary. Fog Runner tax quarterly, consider Amex Blue Business Plus, 2x. You can get 30,000 MR points for 6,000 spend in 3 months. A bit weak, but that card serves as an MR point keeper. No transfer, can transfer, no annual fee. Yep. No, the Blue Business Plus is always a good one. I feel like there's a 50,000 point offer right now on 8K spend in 6 months. I could be wrong. 1 second. Vincent Pascal, do you think Freedom Flex will have the 5% gas grocery first year bonus again? Yeah, of course, because Chase will do literally anything not to improve their cards. So they'll slap that sticker on there at some point. When? I don't know, probably probably fourth quarter. If not fourth quarter of this year, first quarter 2025. EpiBan, Bilt Alaska card rent payments, a good deal, or stick with Bilt MasterCard. So what I know of that right now, the Bilt Alaska card rent payments at absolute worst is purchasing Alaska miles for 1 cent per point. At absolute worst. But considering they said that this will be a strategic partnership, I think you're going to see something like that card, the Alaska card, also getting the no transaction fee. So you're going to come out a little bit ahead because you're not paying that processing fee that Bilt has with other credit cards. But I don't know the extent of their relationship and how far that's going to go. Right now, it looks pretty good because there really aren't any transfer partners for Alaska. So they could do pretty well. You'll do pretty well on Alaska points just with rent alone. And your rent payments will also count toward Alaska Companion Pass and Alaska Status, which, depending on how much you pay in rent, is going to work out pretty well for you. Keith asks, City Strata has a travel multiplier. I know it does hotel and airlines 3x. I know that the portal does 10x on rentals, hotels, and attractions booked within the portal. So yeah, it does do those. I just don't know if it has a transit category in terms of their travel. So Chase and the autographs transit and travel categories would still come out ahead, but I'm aware that it does have some travel. I just don't know how much travel beyond airline, hotel, and the portal it'll have. Vincent Pascal, you should do a live with Joe Wepa Barreto. That was a very terrible Wepa. Sorry, but yeah, I can see if we can get something arranged with Joe. Joe actually lives not far from me. Maybe we could do something in person. I'd have to reach out to him. So let's see. Robert Gerald, SoFi is 2.2. Yeah, it's 2.2, but SoFi has requirements. Yeah, but usually to hit those requirements, they're relatively small. And if you're going into the SoFi ecosystem and you got the 2.2, you're going to go through and get that taken care of. YouTube experiment, I check now. Alliant is no foreign transaction fee. That's awesome. Key, LOL. Hey, Key. Not sure what's the laugh, but there we go. Frugal Dad, Blue Business Plus does have the 50K for 8K spend. I see it when I log into my account. Yeah, I knew that offer was floating around. So if you have quarterly taxes and they're at least $8,000, you're going to get 66,000 membership reward points for no annual fee. Oh, Chase will literally do anything to not improve their cards. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what how they can fix that. Oh no, I know what they can do to fix it. I don't know if they're ever going to get the will to fix it. YouTube experiment, thoughts on Yada? It was cool when it launched. Looks like it's on its death knell now. I don't know. The concept was interesting. It was a way to encourage people to save, and then they got away from that. And I am aware that Anthony Venture is going to be doing one of his first blatantly negative videos on that. So check out Anthony's channel because he'll have something to say on that, I'm sure. Keith asks at David Williams, you can start with the Aspire, product change to a Surpass, spend 15K for another FNC while grabbing additional points and credits. So we did a video on that a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's another way to go. John R. Redstone Visa Signature also has a no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee card. Okay, good to know. RJ, terrible question of the night. If you had to use only 3 Credit One cards for a year, and if you did, you go $1 million, what cards would you use? 3 Credit One cards. Oh man. Could I get 3 of the American Express 1% everything cards and just live with the hurt, and then with the $1 million treat myself really well? Otherwise, I don't want to do the challenge. 34 Skyline, there is a 50K offer on the Business Plus. I'm doing the offer right now. The sub is for 12 months with $15,000 in spend. Oh, okay. No, that one works out. Fog Runner, yes, Matt. Thinking of the autograph journey. Forgot to say that. Okay. If Wells Fargo adds Aeroplan, I'm definitely in. Yeah. Yeah, I am. Jeffrey Henderson, thanks so much for jumping in. Fort Wayne flies to DTW. I did it a few months ago. I did it not that long ago. Did you do it on Delta or did you do it on one of the other airlines out of Fort Wayne? Because if you did it on Delta, I'm going to be annoyed. So I couldn't find anything that was direct like that. But I ended up booking through Atlanta and just going from there. One second. Oh, RJ, no different cards. Oh, God. I'll do that American Express one, and I'll just grab whatever other two Credit One cards. I could have said CSP for a year. I could use the CSP for a year. Only the CSP. I would hate myself for doing it, but I could do it if I got $1 million. That wouldn't be a problem at all. But then I'd just like do a chart with like, here's how I would have spent my money, and here's all the opportunity cost I lost out on because I did this challenge. But I'd also come out with $1 million. So I can live with that. Fog Runner, 50K BBP is great. Nope, that's awesome. Do business cards work for ACI payments? I heard they don't. That I'm not too much of an expert on. I'll let Keith S. chime in on that one. And just go from there. YouTube experiment. If you had to do a no annual fee setup, what 3 to 5 card setup would you have? I have a couple no annual fee cards that are pretty nice. So 3 to 5 cards. Let me go with one, my Wells Fargo duo of the active cash and the autograph. So I'm going to use 2 slots on that. I'm going to use 1 slot for the Hilton Honors card. And I'm going to do 1 slot for, if I didn't hate Capital One needing to give me a check, I would do the Saver one in a second. 1 second here. Brain is processing. What other no annual fee cards are of interest to me? Because I don't necessarily want to do a rotating category card. No, you know what? I would do 1 rotating category card for a 3 to 5 card no annual fee setup. For the first year, I will take a Discover card to the cleaner. So use that as a 4th slide, 4th card. Yeah, and then I don't think I'd have a 5th card because I'd still be doing pretty well with at least 2 points per dollar on the active cash, 3 points per dollar on a number of categories with the autograph. The Hilton Honors card can be my everyday driver for gas, grocery, and not necessarily dining, but I'd have dedicated Hilton points that way, and 3 times Hilton points on everything else. So if I don't need to do transfer points, Hilton points are just nice. You just need a truckload of them for every stay. And then you've got, what was the 4th card I said? Oh, Discover card. Yeah, just run that for as much unlimited cash back as I could. So we'll see what we can do there. But yeah, there you go. There's a 3 to 5 card setup I could run. And I already have 3 of those cards. So we're good there. RJ, see, I'm giving you content ideas. Yeah, but you're also hurting my brain. Credit One. But yeah, no, it's all good. We could definitely do that. Fog Runner, I messaged Citi, just add to Strata Premier 3x groceries worldwide and you'll beat Saver 1. Nope, they already had that, so there you go. And you followed up with that. Keith, ACI, do you mean ACH? No, ACI payments for state tax in California. I don't know. There shouldn't be, but I know that business cards have a higher interchange fee. Yeah, I don't have a great answer there then. I'm not in California. I did my taxes through, well, I was paying like normal jobby job taxes. So yeah, I don't know. Sorry. YouTube experiment. Cool. Thanks. Yeah. I like all of those cards now. The active cash is going to have a foreign transaction fee. So if you're traveling on that no annual fee card setup, just take the honors and the autograph with you. Those will have no foreign transaction fees, but your acceptance for American Express will vary. So there you go. Brian Rich, does Citi Premier 3X count at Walmart? I'm going to say no because I've spoken to John R. a whole bunch on that one, and anything with Walmart in the title, Citi and Chase do not typically count as grocery. But I could be wrong on the Citi side. Nope, John just chimed in with no. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure that's never going to happen. Fog Runner, I meant to say I messaged Amex and suggested adding to the green card 3x groceries worldwide. Shuts out Saver 1. Why not get American Express to do 4x groceries worldwide on the gold card? And that would shut out the Saver 1 too. Keith S. Google California tax payment credit card business. It says yes. Okay. So there you go. And then John followed up with Brian. So, all right. We've been going now for an hour and 12. I think we'll wrap it up in a couple seconds here, a couple minutes here. But yeah, I wanted to try doing a live at a set time. And since there wasn't a whole lot of credit card news to talk about directly, figured we could do some stuff here. So did blame. I saw some comments on Dr. Credit saying that they don't work. I'll have to dig deeper. Yeah, I'm not going to try to sell you anything on that one, and yeah, I would go double check that. Fog Runner, Matt, Discover Miles doubles the points earned in first year at the end of the year, so 1.5x times 2, 3x. Yeah, then I'd have to cash out the miles. I can move the miles to 1 cent per point, so I guess that would be a 3x everything card, but then it's just like getting those miles to convert to cash and then getting the cash out, which is a little bit of a problem, but there you go. Time of Travel, great live. Thank you, sir. And Keith asks, Rangers in 4. Well, if they do it in 4, I'm going to have to wear a Rangers jersey on my next live just so I can bring the jinx. Never doubt my ability to jinx. And John R. I did a video on why I like my Amex Gold Card so much, and yeah, definitely check out John's video on the Amex Gold Card. Citi and Chase apparently will just only ever code Walmart as 1x. So, and then John followed up with some cards do count for grocery at Walmart neighborhood markets. John's had issues with Chase. I don't remember if he had the same issue with Citi. He may have, but definitely check out John's channel for content on that one. He'll know better than I, especially at Walmart neighborhood markets. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I think that's going to do it for tonight. I'm going to get better at this, I promise. I'm going to fix all of this behind me, or get StreamYard and just blur everything behind me. But you guys don't care. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. RJ, I'm half toying with the idea of making a video. Yes or no? Yes. Absolutely yes. and Chad and I and the rest of the community will definitely watch it. So there you go. Brian Rich, okay, thank you. I know the gold card is 4x at neighborhood markets. Yep, there you go. John, good stuff, Matt. Thank you so much, John. Thank you to everyone who was able to pop in for at least a little bit. Everybody who did super chats, thank you so much for those. Yeah, I'll put up when my next live will be. I'll probably do things through StreamYard and make it a little bit prettier, and utilize the 4K camera while making it all look a little bit prettier. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Bye for now, and I'll be back with a video on how I'm going to New Orleans. Talk to you guys soon.